Good evening. We're in James chapter 1 tonight. Usually I usually pick one verse, and that's kind of what I'll fixate on. Even when I preach, most of my message stems from one verse, but we're going to look at a couple of verses tonight. That could be good or that could be bad for time-wise, but I did 30 seconds Wednesday night, so that means I get 9 minutes and 30 seconds tonight. But James chapter 1, starting in verse 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. And you hear us pray that a lot. Most of us men in here that pray. That's where that comes from right there. Be ye hearers of the word and not doers only. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. And to me, that right there kind of stems off of that having a form of godliness but denying the power. Me and Briggs both have hit that pretty hard the past couple of weeks. I think about it like this. You come into church and you put on a face and you act the part of a Christian, and then you turn around and walk out and you forget about it. That's kind of what happened right here. He said, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. That's kind of the same thing there. You come in here and you act the part, and then you walk out and you forget. You forget what happened for you in here. You forget the spiritual feeling you felt in here. You leave it in here. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain. That can go for anything. That's not just the tongue. If any man among you seem to be religious and gets drunk every weekend, if any man among you seems to be religious, but he's cheating on his wife, or he's beating on his wife, or he's doing anything like that, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain. If you're not following God's will and doing God's will and trying your hardest to live the way he tells us to live, then your religion's in vain. And it goes on in verse 27 to say this, pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Now, it don't say to be, it says unspotted completely. You ever seen like a white t-shirt? It's just completely white. There's not a spot. There's not a stain on it. It don't say that you can have a little stain. It don't say that you can have a little bit of dirt that just wouldn't come out in the washer. It says be unspotted. That means don't be out there in the world mixing with the things of the world if you're going to reclaim the religion of God. It says pure religion and undefiled before God. You can't be out there mixing with the world and claiming to have religion. You can't be out there not bridling your tongue and claiming to have religion. You can't be out there getting drunk every weekend and then wanting to come in church and claim religion. But it all stems back to verse 24, where you forgot where you come from. You forgot what manner of man you were. Because if you're going to come in here and put on a face and put on an act, all that is an act. But at some point, you've got to come in here and realize that you need Jesus in your life. And when you do realize that, you've got to remember that you've got Jesus in your life and you're a child of the kingdom. And don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. Whenever you go out there in this world and it starts tempting you with all these things and all the evil and wicked that's out there, and you get tempted to sin and do wrong, you've got to remember what manner of man you are and who lives inside of you. Our body, it says our body should be a temple. And all these things in this world, sin kills the body. It kills the flesh. Nothing sinful is good for you. If you smoke, you're going to get lung cancer. If you drink all the time, your liver's going to fail. If you want to do drugs, your whole body's going to shut down. Nothing sinful is good for you. You want to keep having sex outside of marriage and all this, you're going to get an STD and you're going to die. Nothing sinful is good for your body, and your body's supposed to be a temple. So why not just be spotted from the world and have pure religion instead of mixing it with the sinful and evil and hurtful things of this world. Thank you.